Dennis KE at Dennis Aseta. Hashtag is Weekend Prime. Now we go straight to our top story of this hour. 4 filmmakers who were arrested in connection with the BBC documentary Blood Parliament have been released on a free bond. Nicholas Sombugu, Brian Adagala, Chris Somai and Mark Denver Kariobi were apprehended on Friday night at their office in Karen, Nairobi and detained at Pangani and Muthaiga police stations. Their arrest sparked public outrage, particularly on social media, as it coincided with World Press Freedom Day, a day dedicated to defending the rights and freedoms of journalists. Catherine Imuraget reports.
On a day meant to highlight press freedom, 4 filmmakers attached to BBC spent the night behind bars. Nicholas Gishuki, Brian Adagala, Mark Denver Karubio, and Chris Wamai were arrested for allegedly being involved in the production of Blood Parliament, a BBC Africa Eye documentary that investigated the deaths of protesters during last year's anti-financial bill demonstrations. Following a public outcry, the 4 were released Saturday morning on a free bond. They confirmed being taken from their office in Karen by officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the DCI, who questioned them over possible involvement in the documentary.
We cannot be in a society whereby the police act unjustifiably without following due process, and also the fact that they had been taken and their statements had been taken without any advocates present. That's the abuse of their own rights in that respect.
The Kenya Editors Guild has raised concern over the increasing threats of journalists in the country, with the Kenya Union of Journalists Secretary General Eric Oduor strongly condemning the arrest and intimidation of media practitioners.
The region has recorded a worrying trend where authorities have unleashed crackdown on journalists and in some cases leading to shutdown of media houses. In Kenya, for example, the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, is under pressure over a bold piece of journalism titled Blood Parliament that detailed police brutality against young protesters last year.
Human rights organizations have also condemned the arrest, terming them a violation of press freedom. In a joint statement, they have urged the DCI to publicly disclose the legal basis for the detentions. On her part, People's Liberation Party leader Martha Karua criticized the government via X account, stating that instead of arresting filmmakers, police should focus on the responsible of the extrajudicial killings exposed in the documentary. In response to the arrest, the BBC clarified that the 4 were not involved in the making of production of Blood Parliament. This incident marks the second case of a journalist being detained within a week. On Thursday, a Kitui-based blogger was released after spending 24 hours in custody over allegations of publishing false information related to Kitui South constituency. Catherine Imuraget, KTN, Nairobi.
Thank you, Muraget, for that story, even as you continue to ask questions with regard to freedom of speech and freedom of the media in the country.